Chapter 11, A Total Loss. A total loss, a noun meaning goods so damaged that there's no point in repairing them, or they can't be repaired at all. The first cup was an easy sell, the second cup too. It was on the third cup that a little girl, about 6 years old, said, "Ew, there's a bug in my drink." Then her brother said, "There's one in mine too." "Gross," said an older boy on a skateboard. "There are like 3 in mine. I want my money back, man," he said, dumping his lemonade on the ground. The mother of the little girl and boy looked into their cups carefully. "I think you need to check your lemonade, honey," she said to Evan. Evan unscrewed the cap and everyone looked in. The surface was swimming with dead bugs, fruit flies, worms, and a soggy brown caterpillar. "Oh my goodness," said the mother. The boy started spitting on the ground like he was going to die. The girl started wailing, "Mommy, I drank bugs. I have bugs in my tummy." Evan couldn't believe his eyes. How did this happen? Did they crawl in somehow? They couldn't have. He'd screwed the lid on tightly. He was sure of it. And anyway, 1 or 2 bugs crawling in, maybe. But 50 dead fruit flies and 2 inchworms and a caterpillar? It just wasn't possible. Evan was burning with embarrassment as everyone looked at him in his buggy lemonade. Frantically, he reached into the cooler and started to scoop out the dead bugs with his hands. "Sweetheart," said the mother, "you can't sell that lemonade." I'll get them all," said Evan. "I'll get every last one." "No, dear, you really can't. You need to dump it out," she said. Evan looked at her like she was crazy. Dump it out? Dump it out? He had spent $40 of his hard-earned money on that lemonade, and another $1 for the cups. He wasn't going to dump it out. "I'll do it at home," he said. "No, I think you should do it here." "You should do it here, I think. I need to be sure it's all disposed of properly." Evan looked at her. He didn't know her, but he knew her type. Boy, did he know her type. She was the kind of mother who thought she was the mother of the whole world. If you were on the playground and she thought you were playing too rough, she'd tell you. If you were chewing gum in line at the 7-Eleven, she'd say, "I sure hope that's sugarless." Mothers like that never minded just their own business or just their kids' business. They thought they had to take care of every kid in the kingdom. "It's too heavy for me to dump," he said. "I'll take it home and my mom can help." "I'll help," said the busybody mother of the world. "All we need to do is tip it a little." She grabbed one handle of the big cooler. Evan had no choice but to grab the other handle. Together, they tipped and the lemonade poured out of the top of the cooler. They poured and poured and poured. The lemonade sparkled in the sunlight like a bejeweled waterfall and then disappeared without a trace, soaking into the parched September grass. As the last sluice of lemonade slipped out of the cooler, a slick of mud poured out. "Oh my goodness," said the mother. Evan couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe how quickly his victory had turned to defeat. It was just like the lemonade. It had disappeared into the grass, leaving nothing behind. A total loss. The mother smiled sympathetically as Evan returned her $2. The skateboard dude had already skated off with his refund. There was nothing to do but go home. Evan walked slowly, dragging the wagon with the empty cooler rattling inside. With every step he took, the wagon handle poked him in the rear end. Step, poke, step, poke. He even felt like someone was nudging him forward. "Evan, Mom wants to see you in her office right away." That had been weird. His mom had had no idea what he meant. "I didn't call you. I didn't call anyone," she said. "I've been on the computer." "Evan, Mom wants to see you." He had been coming up the stairs. Jessie had been in the garage. She had looked anxious. "Right away," she had said. Evan stopped walking. He stared at the empty cooler, and then he started to run. The wagon bounced crazily along the uneven sidewalk. Twice it tipped over.